you will decolonize the leadership table using EQ, AIQ, and sustainable strategies, starting with Change Academy today. What if the neo-colonizer is the ex-colonized? Look around and observe. Your leadership table isn't as inclusive as you think. Watch a colleague shrink in silence. The moment a Hispanic, Black, Asian, or Arabian person, but worse when a woman speaks, hear someone's tone shift. Feel the ghost of empire in every unexpected power play. If you believe your team is post-colonial, think again. It's time to shatter the masks of mimicry and rebuild leadership on unshakable empathy, data-driven insight, and true sustainability. Ready for a revolution at your boardroom? Hit subscribe, because everything you know about inclusion is about to be rewritten. You're here because you believe in true inclusion, where every voice matters, every story counts. Yet too often, invisible legacies of colonialism ripple through our meetings. Some dominate, some withdraw, some perform for approval. Today, we bridge that divide. We bring together three engines, IQ, EQ, and AIQ, and sustainable leadership principles to heal old wounds and build new paradigms. This is where emotional legacy meets future-ready strategy. Welcome to the Mirror of the Colonizer. We'll explore how post-colonial dynamics still shape our boardrooms and how you can use emotional intelligence, data-driven insight, and sustainability frameworks to lead beyond masks and mimicry. The following is a shared story. Men and women are facing in different ways. Stories of terror and threats, inspired from a true story for you to acknowledge, feel, share if you know similar ones. He arrived each morning with a smile as silent as a closed door, and for the women on his team, especially those whose skin carried histories of other lands, it was a promise of dread. In 2023, Maria, a bright-eyed mentor from West Africa, and Layla, a driven curriculum designer with roots in South Asia, found themselves trapped in the same bright office where his voice, warm to some, turned cold and predatory toward them. He praised their ideas one moment, then leaned in so close the air smelled of threat, reminding them that ambition was a luxury women of their background couldn't afford. Whispers filled the corridors, how he joked about their bodies after meetings, asking Layla whether she understands him or he should speak her native language in front of colleagues, how he held budgets hostage, dangling promotions like carrots, until they learned to tolerate his gaze or risk professional exile. The terror crept into their work. Emails went unanswered, collaborations stalled, and projects they'd nurtured for months unraveled overnight. Operations creaked under the weight of fear, deadlines blurred, and morale was poisoned. And yet, in that darkness, a quiet courage stirred. Maria and Layla, united by shared indignity, began to speak their truths, first in hushed conversations, then in determined voices that rallied colleagues. They refused to let their stories stay buried in hotel corridors or whispered at water coolers. Their uprising of empathy and integrity shattered the unspoken pact of silence. It reminded everyone that real leadership demands safety and respect, values as indispensable as strategy and vision. In the end, they reclaimed the table, proving that no shadow of intimidation can dim the light of collective resolve. Masking and mimicry. First, the psychology of masking. Frantz Fanon called it the epidermalization of inferiority. Learn to spot where you're performing white-adjacent behaviours and why it undermines genuine inclusion. See this journal prompt. Where did I mask myself today? Neo-colonial behaviours. Next, when the mask slips, aggressiveness towards some, deference to others. This isn't personality, it's trauma. We'll map these patterns with a simple emotion mapping tool. Think of emotion mapping. Who do you interrupt or ignore? Now the solution, how to EQ, AIQ and sustainability to change this attitude. EQ, active listening and empathy circles. AIQ, using data to highlight bias loops before they escalate. Sustainability, rooting decisions in long-term social and emotional health, not short-term optics. The table we build of self-awareness. Finally, we consider inner decolonization. This isn't about mimicking old power structures. It's about co-creating tables of truth, repair, and mutual respect. We'll close with a hero's oath adapted to inclusive, sustainable leadership. If this resonates, download the companion workbook below, subscribe, share with your team, and begin the journey of healing and high-performance sustainability. Below, companion workbook.